everybody, and welcome to We the Robot pregame show for Mr. Robot. I am your host, J. Cole, filling in for the Revolution. He couldn't make it today. I am joined by
Okay, Tone.
the man, Okay Tone.
Myth and a legend as well.
Right, he's definitely a myth.
So
I don't know if you anybody legend, but you're definitely a myth.
I'm a legend in my own right.
Hey,
we ain't gonna get into those 75th Street stories, you know.
Southside Chicago, for those of you who don't know.
It's a city thing.
Yeah. So Revolution is actually, I had to go into power saver mode, I do believe. Yeah. So he's not able to join us today, but he will definitely be back next week to take over. I just want to prepare you guys for tonight's show. We might be contending for the most bootleg FCN show thus far since we've started broadcasting. This might be like number one. I'm not going for that record, but
I'm pretty sure there's not even going to be a comparison. We're going to blow this out the water with these numbers.
Think it's not even a question. It's it is.
I think this is the first time me and you've been on screen together.
That's true. That is. Look at that. And so that you saying that right there is a formula for destruction. Yeah, look, we are gonna.
You got to look at our shirts. She got a space shirt on. I got Stitch 626. So it's interstellar.
Exactly.
You know,
we in outer space. Oh my God, what have we done? Mr. Moneybags is not gonna be happy with this show. I think we're gonna have a meeting.
Yeah.
Either after the show or maybe tomorrow. Sometimes he likes us to stay up and, toss and turn, thinking about what might happen. I may not host another show again. If you guys watched last week, I'm surprised I got invited back after, some of the comments that I made.
I think that's why the Revolution is in power saver mode.
Is that why?
I'm pretty sure something about Stephen Hawking not appreciating.
Stephen Hawking porn?
So I'm not sure. I tried to stay away from it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tune in. Oh nope. Okay. I see you started to get bootleg already. I had to do a sound check because we usually have like many hands on deck, but I think FCN as a company is in power saver mode.
I don't think.
We're going to move on. We're going to go. So as you all know, we are here for the Mr. Robot pregame show, which starts tonight, 9 p.m. on USA. But we're going to discuss last week's episode briefly, and we're also going to talk about what we think is going to happen going forward. We're pregaming. I actually already started the pregame. We got a game coming up. I don't know if you got to catch up with me, Tony.
I'm probably going to have to catch up because I seen you taking little swigs after you came out the office a little bit ago. So,
Yeah, well, I had a little cup of courage before I hosted my first FCN show. My first
but not
FCN
last.
show. After all this time, maybe. Who knows? So what we are going to do is go into our random access memory recap of last So, last week's episode, Season 3, Episode 1. Overall, I'm just going to say this, and I'll go into it more later on. I was disappointed.
Really?
I was very disappointed in last week's episode. I'm gonna do this quick rundown. We're going to talk about what actually did happen, and then I will discuss why I feel the way I feel. So, we got a new character.
Oh.
Your boy, Irvin.
Oh, my boy. He is 70s Joe Pesci. He says everything that we be thinking. Man, I went and got a sandwich the other day, and they gave me a coupon for the next purchase.
Right.
Like, just give me a sandwich now, man.
He said, what do I have to get back in line?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bust her head, man. Bust her head.
He's ready to at least he think he's ready to keep Elliot and Mr. Robot in order. Do you? Okay, we're going to get a little pre-cap in right now. Do you think Irvin is ready? Does he know what he's getting into?
Oh, no.
Corralling Mr. Robot and our good boy Tyrell.
Listen, we don't know what we're getting into. On a regular basis, we're sitting there like, oh, I got this. I know what's going on. Then 2 episodes later, you like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
I have an overall feeling, but I'm holding out hope that it is incorrect. So we'll see. And again, I'm going to discuss that a little bit later. We're going to move forward. So Elliot got shot at the end of last season.
Right.
he recovered with mutant Wolverine-like speed. Like, how did that happen? Can you tell me?
Man, listen. Hey, what was he say? The big white hand of God?
Yes. No, he was touched. The invisible hand.
The invisible hand.
He got touched by that invisible hand. They were like, heal in the name of hackers everywhere.
Go hack more. You need it on this earth.
In the name of e-coins. Lord, Philip Price is gonna deliver us from the dark army. Okay, I'm gonna quit right now.
we gotta break out his song and dance
right now. I'm not going any further with that. I definitely want to host another show. I'm supposed to be hosting We the Dead this Sunday, so I want to do real good tonight. I want to do real good. I got my best shirt on, my NASA shirt. It's a nerd, wink, wink. It's a nerd technology shirt.
Give him his show, boss.
Yeah.
Give him his show.
Yeah. So, what the white man got to get a job around here.
I got 2 shows before he got 1.
Moving on. Miss Darlene. All right, so did she sell her brother out? Did she sell her brother out? We're gonna ask that in Zero Node, but that is definitely a question. She came back and she seemed funny to me.
I don't know, man. She's went through so much stuff through season 1 and 2, though, man.
Look, I think they're setting it up for her to look like she's selling out Elliot, but everything they've been through, like in this world, there's nothing she loves more than her brother.
That's true.
Like, they have shown that time and again. She loved Elliot. So she might be trying to just convince him to get out, which is why she helped him hack into that back door. There's so much backdoor talk in Mr. Robot.
It's kind of hidden.
The pervert in me can only think other things. Like, I never think of computer, backdoors when they say backdoor.
That's because at the end of the day, we watching everybody get. Can I say screwed on TV?
You can say screwed. We can say screwed.
Get screwed in the back door.
You're absolutely right. I wonder if Stephen Hawking.
No.
Backdoor action.
I'm gonna lose my show messing around with you.
So
I need my job.
They hinted at introduce a new concept.
Time travel.
Like, really? Are we gonna go there? Are we really gonna go there?
See, here's the thing though. When we've been talking about hackers this whole show, right? Mm-hmm. Day 1.
Right.
The big person, White Rose, who's the shadowy figure,
right,
always talk about hack time.
Oh, I don't know how I didn't even connect those dots. But you're right. She is always talking about time. They got that little timer every time she has a conversation with somebody.
Yes.
It's about time. So they've been hitting this from basically when they introduced her.
Day 1 with her. And you have the funnest thing in the world is to watch her sit there and have a full conversation with you. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Beep, beep. And then we're going to do this. I'm like, whoa. The first time it happened threw me off, man.
Real quick. Speaking of White Rose and time travel, Miss Angela is now working for the Dark Army. I kind of did that eye roll. They hinted it at the end of last season. But go ahead. What you got to say?
I want her to get hit by a bus.
If you remember, she was my prediction for a death this season.
Yes.
I'm sticking with that. I really feel like she'll last definitely at least till the end of the season or midway. But
I'm giving her episode 6. I'm giving her to episode 6.
I'm writing that down. Angela dead.
Angela in 6.
Angela in 6, right.
You do this like the championship. Game 7. She ain't gonna make it.
Exactly. Speaking of games, your host, J. Cole, at J. Cole is it. I got a game for you, Tom.
Okay.
Because since we pre-gaming.
Ooh.
And bourbon is my favorite.
Ooh. And I told you he was taking a sip.
The game goes thusly. I've got some scenarios written out here. You're going to randomly pick one and read it and try to do what it says.
Okay.
You going to go with A?
I'm going to go with A.
Because it's Hulk A tone?
Yes, it's not Hulk it's A. The A actually stands for something.
Hulk
We'll talk about that on my new show coming soon. But let's see. Let's see the game. So in this game, I have to talk about the show, last week's episode.
What?
Split personalities without saying.
Yes, reading is fundamental. Come on, read what's on the paper.
See, I'm not. He been pre-gaming his way. I've been pre-gaming my way. Leave me alone, man. I have to talk about split personality without saying duality. So.
Because we got a lot of split personalities in this show.
Oh,
Mr. Robot ain't the only one. We got
White Rose.
White Rose is a split personality. Really, I would say Angela is a split personality.
Yes.
Especially now. Like, she's gone off the deep end.
Yep.
So she's got a couple. So
and
it is definitely a theme throughout the show.
Character changes, of course. So at one point you're like, is this what? See, do we start now?
We start now.
We start now. Okay. So when it comes to these personalities, you don't know what you're dealing with. One of the crazy things is you want to like certain characters, right? But is that character doing things like Elliot, for instance? Is he doing things because he wants to, or is it his
His what? You said it.
I said it.
You said part of the word. Since I made up the game, I get to make up the rules.
You're going to keep on changing
Half the word is the word. Whoop. We're going to give you just a little taste.
Just a little tap. I'm going to put some hair on my chest a little bit.
You got to keep talking.
Was it his duality? Since I already said it, and it got no double time in me, that is making him do what he does. Is it?
You need to take that shot, my brother, because you might say it again. Boop.
So is it? Ooh, that's strong.
Yeah, baby.
Is it because he wants to do it, or is it some kind of crazy scheme devised by Mr. Robot? Because we're actually starting to see, well, not actually starting to see, the whole F society was started by Mr. Robot, and Elliot never knew.
Right.
So at this point, it's like, Elliot, are you working and doing stuff because you want to, or are you doing stuff because Mr. Robot? Okay. He was inviting me that time. Of course, we got White Rose with the.
Just go with the flow, baby. Don't stop yourself. You're messing it up. The people want to see you talk about duality. Come on, man.
Well, you just said it only applied to me.
You're right. I did just say it.
Yeah, not.
So here you go.
So here I go.
Hey, it says without saying duality. So you didn't say who.
Yeah. So with the White Rose duality, we see it's a gender duality. You know,
you said it twice, so that's 2 more shots right there. Keep talking.
But where do that personality start? White Rose supposed to be this big end shot helping America out from the Chinese government, right? But then behind the scenes, you are the master of the whole game, like finna make this big time machine.
Right, exactly. We're gonna make a time machine. I don't know if they're going that way. So because you brought that up, before I pick mine, I'm gonna mention something. Oh, this is yours. I'm gonna mention something about just where the show was going. I kind of teased it in the intro. Why I did not like this episode.
Right.
So I was explaining to you earlier before the show started about jumping the shark, right? When a TV show has reached its peak and it's on the other side of that mountain, they call it jumping the shark. And sometimes there's a specific episode that you point to that says that was the episode where that TV show jumped the shark.
Right, yeah.
This might be it. Now I'm gonna reserve full judgment, but what happens with shows like this and I saw this in Game of Thrones, they recovered nicely. What happens in shows like this is when you constantly having twists and you constantly trying to misdirect the audience and throw people off, eventually you twist and turn so many times, you end up right back right here. So like you're turning this way, this way, this way, this way, and all of a sudden you about to bump into yourself. You know what I mean?
Genetic
I
code.
think Mr. Robot has reached that point where they now either have to go down this fully fantastical, ridiculous direction, right, of time travel or whatever, or they're going to have to recover from that and take it into a direction that nobody sees. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, why'd you take us through all of this if really you were going to this place?
So basically you're saying either they're going to have to Fight Club it or H.G. Wells it.
Right. No,
yeah.
There you go. Right there.
He's either somebody's gonna have to blow their brains out, or we just gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Down that rabbit hole, and
Alice in Wonderland.
And it feels like they're going down a rabbit hole. This episode, I fell asleep on it, and I actually talked to Ravo. He fell asleep on it twice. Before we actually finished the episode. Like towards the middle of the episode, where Elliot had that, where he's going through. You know, where he's kind of talking to himself, and he's walking through the streets, and he's talking about the invisible hand and how it punched us in the, groin. We're going to say groin tonight.
Mushroom head.
Right, exactly. So that was just like, where this, the music didn't match. It was just like, okay, where are we going with this now at this point? So we'll see. I'm going to continue watching because they've got great writers. They have had a great storyline thus far, so they can recover. But I did not enjoy this episode.
I think a lot of times in those situations, we also have to take in mind from what I think. I honestly don't think none of this is real. Like, in the whole storyline, I think he's made up in his head. So I think, like,
if it's that, I'm going to write a very strongly worded email to the creator about the show, because they better not do it was all a dream.
Yeah,
and telling me he used to read Word Up magazine. I'm not gonna go for that.
He's gonna pull a what was that movie, Shutter Island?
Yeah.
Shutter Island gonna pull a Shutter Island on us.
Yeah. But the Shutter Island only took us through an hour and a half. This is taking us through 3 years now. So let's not do this to the audience.
And supposedly a 5th season. Like they're supposed to be going through 5 seasons.
We'll see. You heard it here first. Jaco says they jumped the shark. We could refer back to this episode and say you were off your rocker, or I'm a genius and I was the first one who said it.
Or I'm a genius.
You are a genius.
Well, thank you.
My turn.
What game are we playing?
Talk about the direction of the show without saying storyline.
Ooh.
I just did talk about the direction of the show.
Without saying storyline.
So now I got to say it without saying the word that's on that paper, because we started. You thought you had me already.
We talked about jumping the shark.
So, yeah. So right now, the direction of the show, we are going towards Elliot is, inevitably going to crash. Either Mr. Robot and him are going to have this, all-out battle, like you said, Fight Club, and Elliot's going to off himself, which it seems to be where he's going. Once he really realizes how the futility of it all is going to be, he may take that way out.
My only thing about that situation, right, is that it's basically like the story hasn't pointed to it. Like, we had an episode where Mr. Robot shot Elliot in the head, right?
Right, which was, of course, not really
Elliot sat up. We had the story where the chess games episode, right?
Yes, that was a good story.
That was a good story. And you keep on seeing that.
You know what? Go ahead.
You keep on seeing that they are in constant battle. And when you sit there and look at him having his conversations with his therapist, it seems more so he's starting to accept Mr. Robot.
He is, and he isn't, though. Like, he's still battling him. Which is why he thought Angela was going to be like, when he told her, hey, watch out for me if Mr. Robot comes, when he stayed the night at her house. And then Mr. Robot came, and that's how we found out she is now no longer on Elliot's side. So
that unusual
at
creature.
that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to finish out the show with our predictions for tonight.
Talking about them storylines?
Oh, yeah. Storylines. Game's over. I don't have to take a shot.
There you go. Making up your own rules.
Hello, Evil Corp. We are F Society. Over the years, we've been watching you. Your financial abuse of the poor, your corruption of governments, your cover-ups of the murder of innocent, ordinary citizens, all for the sake of profit. This is why we at F Society have decided you must die. We are malicious and hostile. We do not compromise. We are relentless. We will not stop until every tentacle of your evil monstrosity is sliced off at the nerve. Consider yourself warned.
Welcome back to We the Robot. I am your host for the night, J. Cole. Again, the Revolution had to go into power saver mode, but he will be back next week. I'm here joined by
Hulk A. Tone, the Raging Ogre, baby.
Right. And we are going to close this show out here in just a minute. I wanted to make a comment that this is probably the least watched show thus far. You guys have spoken. You don't like J. Cole hosting. I understand. It's okay. You guys don't come here to see more whiteness. I get it. The Fifth Column Network is not about white people or white privilege. Hey, I'm gonna accept my fate at this point. All three, and I'm only talking to three people. There's only three people on here because I'm on here, so they're counting me. So.
I don't think it's you. I think it's the fact that we hijacked the studio and doing this all remotely.
So? You think so? It could be. It could be. I'm going to have fun anyway. I don't care about you, and, well, you who's not watching, I don't care about you.
Especially you that's not watching.
Especially you, suckers. So, we're going to move into our next segment, the Zero node with our prediction. Quick.
That's
a
what
quick
she
intro.
said. That's what she said.
All right, so
That's 3
for
seconds of your
tonight,
life, baby.
yes, sir. So, what do you think is happening on tonight's episode?
More scandalous stuff, of course. I want to see, me personally, I want to see a full-on meeting with Mr. Robot and White Rose because at this point we don't know who's controlling who. You know, is White Rose in truly control? Is Mr. Robot in control? And
right,
I want because White Rose seemed like got it. They got it all figured out. But you know, Mr. Robot, he's just a hell of a character.
Yeah,
you
that's a good,
complex.
that's a really good point. I don't think they're gonna do that tonight. That'll probably be down the road. But when those two meet, especially if it's White Rose and Mr. Robot, so two of their alternate, the duality will collide
in that
meeting.
storyline.
In that storyline, it's gonna be amazing. Tonight, I don't think we're gonna have a whole lot of movement. We are gonna get my girl, Agent Dom, back in the fold tonight. I do believe the FBI is gonna come back. We will find out a little bit more about Darlene. We are definitely going to see Elliot continue to struggle with trying to shut down the Dark Army's plan.
Yeah.
Will he find out about Angela yet? How long is that going to take?
No. He's going to find out. I'll give it another 2 episodes.
Yeah. I think he might. I think he might find something out tonight. I think something's gonna get revealed.
I doubt it because Mr. Robot, he's covering his tracks a lot, you know, and it seems like Angela's been knowing to talk to this guy, you know. So I think she's been a KGB agent, for a long time for F Society.
Well, she kind of sold out with E Corp. She was seeming like she was all in, even though she was playing both sides. She kind of wasn't. She was really just trying to boost her own ego.
But that's my thing. Was she planted? Like, did he plant her in there this whole time?
Oh, Mr. Robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere she's gone, it seems like every move she make, he inches closer to what he's doing. And it all goes through, what's the executive of E-Corp's name?
Philip Price.
When
Man, Phil. Big Phil.
Big Phil.
Big Daddy Phil.
Every Phil I know is big. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
All right, so real quick, we're going to go into our internal fatal error death prediction. Anybody gonna die tonight? Pew, pew. Everybody gonna die tonight.
Probably based off Irvin. I want to know who he's talking to on that phone. But he's probably gonna kill off an FBI agent or 2 tonight. But nobody important.
No main characters.
No
I don't think we got any deaths tonight.
Not tonight.
But there's definitely gonna be some fighting over Elliot and Mr. Robot. Tyrell should make a reappearance. We're going to find out because Mr. Robot is coming on now. Thanks for tuning in. We got tomorrow, Prime News at 7, the Scandal pregame show with Miss Starla K at 8:30. Sunday, we got Sunday edition at 4. We got Millions and Millions. What is it? TLC pregame at 7:15. And then maybe I'll be hosting a show at 8:30.
If you're not in power save
dead
mode.
Right? I don't know what I'll be. I might be a zombie. I may be a walker at that point. The Walking Dead premiere at 9 o'clock on Sunday. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been J. Cole.
Okay, Tom.
Have a good night.